Not feeling great lately? Maybe you're dealing with fatigue, brain fog, brittle nails, hair loss, or even frequent colds. These could all be signs that your body is trying to tell you something important. You might have a vitamin deficiency. You see, our bodies are like magnificent machines. They usually don't just shut down when something is wrong. They send us signals, and understanding those signals can be the key to improving your health. So in today's video, we're diving into how to recognize these warning signs, why even healthy diets aren't always enough, and most importantly, what you can do to fix it. So let's jump in. Hi, I'm Ryan, your keto cousin, and on this channel, I share information on how to improve your metabolic health so you can look and feel your best at any age. Today, we are tackling obvious signs that you may be overlooking that could be telling you you're suffering from malnourishment. I want you to think about your body for a second. Imagine it as a car. It needs the right fuel, it needs regular maintenance, and enough care to run smoothly. But what happens if you miss something? Maybe your oil is low or you use the wrong fuel. Your car will give you warning lights before it just stops running. Your body works the same way. And today we're going to talk about those warning lights, specifically the signs of nutrient deficiencies. And here's the deal. It's not just about eating healthy. I used to think I was doing all the right things, choosing healthy foods, sticking to a balanced diet, but I was always tired. My locks were thinning and every dentist visit revealed a new cavity. And I thought all of this was normal as I was a working mom, but it was by accident that I stumbled across the cause, my nutrition. Later, when I dug deeper and I used tools like Chronometer to analyze my actual nutrient intake, I was shocked to find out how much I was missing. So I'll go more into that later, but first I want to break this down for you. Your body is a master communicator. It's always sending signals when something is off. And the trick is knowing how to interpret those signals so you can take action. So let's break down some common signs of nutrient deficiencies and the foods that can help address them. Let's start with feeling wiped out all the time or like your brain just isn't clicking. So that's not normal. If this sounds like you, it could be a sign of low iron. Iron is what helps your blood carry oxygen to your cells, and without it, you're just gonna feel drained. So foods like grass-fed beef, lamb, beef liver, or sardines are great foods to boost iron. So another big one that's gonna help with fatigue is vitamin B12. So vitamin B12 is like rocket fuel for your brain and energy levels. If you're not getting enough, you're gonna feel like your battery is stuck at like 10%. So you can load up on vitamin B12 by eating eggs, cheese, salmon, beef. And so for fatigue, you also wanna look at your magnesium levels. So magnesium is one that most people are highly deficient in. And I've seen stats as high as 75% of Americans being low in this mineral. Magnesium is key for energy and keeping your brain sharp. So my favorite keto-friendly sources include spinach, Swiss chard, avocado, and pumpkin seeds. And really, who doesn't love a good avocado? If you suffer from random muscle spasms or twitches, like when your eye won't stop twitching, or you get those annoying leg cramps at night, this is your body begging for magnesium or potassium. So magnesium helps relax your muscles and keep them working smoothly. And ladies, if each month you're suffering from menstrual cramps, low levels of magnesium may be the culprit. So magnesium and potassium work together to keep your muscles firing just right. So pretty much the same foods that are rich in magnesium are also rich in potassium. So you can get that from avocados, spinach, those leafy greens, and pumpkin seeds. So let's move on to skin issues. So if you're dealing with skin that is dry, flaky, or irritated all the time, your body might be screaming for omega-3s or vitamin A. So omega-3s are amazing for reducing inflammation and keeping your skin hydrated. You can get omega-3 from wild-caught salmon, sardines, mackerel. And for dry skin, you want to look at vitamin A as well. It's all about skin repair, hydration. You can find vitamin A in liver, egg yolks, and grass-fed butter. So another sign of nutrient deficiency is if your hair is falling out in clumps or your nails are breaking left and right. And this is where zinc and biotin come in. So zinc supports keratin, which is what keeps your hair and nails strong. And you can get that from oysters, beef, pumpkin seeds. And biotin, also known as the beauty vitamin, is great for healthy hair and nails. So you can get that from eggs, organ meat, salmon. Those would be your best bets. You also want to look at your B vitamins. So meat, fish, eggs are all rich in B vitamins, which are going to be great for healthy skin, hair, and nails. So next I want to move on to joint pain. So you shouldn't resign to the fact that, oh, I'm getting older, so now I have joint pain. If your joints are aching and stiff, you may have a deficiency in vitamin D, or you may need more omega-3. So vitamin D is a powerhouse for reducing inflammation and keeping your joints happy. So you want to eat fatty fish like salmon, have egg yolks, cod liver oil, and omega-3s, I mentioned them earlier, and they're also amazing inflammation fighters. So those fatty fish like salmon, mackerel, and sardines, those are going to be great for your omega-3s. All right, so let's move on. If you're that person who is always sick, catching every cold that goes around, it's time to look at your immune health. So vitamin C is a big one here, and you can get vitamin C from bell peppers, kale, broccoli, cauliflower. Those are all keto friendly, and they're packed with vitamin C. So zinc is another key player in immune health, and I mentioned zinc earlier for hair and nails, so you'll need the same foods. Oysters, grass-fed beef, chicken thighs, those are all great sources of zinc. And of course, vitamin D is great for immune support too. It's basically your immune system's best friend. So go out and get some sun, eat salmon, egg yolks, cod liver oil. Those are going to increase your levels. I know I mentioned all of these great sources of foods to help increase your nutrition, but here's the frustrating part. Even if you're eating healthy, you can still have gaps in your nutrition. So a study published in the Journal of the International Society of Sports Nutrition found that every single participant in their analysis was nutrient deficient, even though most were eating what could be considered a balanced diet. Crazy, right? So let's explore why our diet is not enough. So first up, processed foods. They're cheap, they're filling, and they're absolutely everywhere. Think about it. When you're on the go or short on time, what's an easy grab? A protein bar, a bag of chips, maybe some fast food. And these foods are designed to keep you full and satisfied for a while, but they have no nutrients. They're stripped of nutrients during their processing. It's like eating calories with no value. Your body gets fed, but not fueled. And this is why we say Americans are overfed and undernourished. Processed foods can provide the calories, but they're devoid of nutrients. So another reason why our diets are not sufficient for meeting our nutritional needs has to do with our soil. So the soil that our food grows in today isn't what it used to be. Studies show that over the past century, the nutrients in our soil have been massively depleted. And this means that even if you're buying the freshest organic kale or the juiciest local tomatoes, they just don't pack the same nutrient punch as they did decades ago. Well, it's because industrial farming has stripped the soil of richness, and crops are grown again and again in the same soil without giving that soil enough time to recover. And the result is that there is less magnesium, zinc, and other vital nutrients in the foods that we're eating today. I also blame our diet culture for our deficiencies. We're so focused on macronutrient content, and there's so many gurus on the internet telling us that weight loss is all about calories in and calories out, that it doesn't matter where you get your calories from, as long as you're in a caloric deficit, that you'll lose the weight. We've become so lost on what the purpose of food is. It's nutrition. And 200 calories of oatmeal for breakfast is not the same as 200 calories of eggs. The nutrition you're gonna get from those eggs is far superior to that of oatmeal. I'm gonna share a personal example to show you what I mean. I wanted to see how my diet before I embraced the low carb one stacked up to my diet now. So I logged what would have been a typical day of eating back then into Chronometer, which is an app that breaks down your meals into your nutrients. It's great for food tracking and so on. So back then, before I was really focused on nutrition, I thought that I was doing all right? I would have oatmeal and almond milk for breakfast, maybe a sandwich of some kind, peanut butter and jelly with an apple for lunch, and then dinner I would have lentils, brown rice, and kale. That sounds pretty solid, right? Low in calories and mostly whole foods. But when I looked at the results, I was blown away. For that day of eating, I was lacking in 15 essential vitamins and minerals. 15. Things like magnesium, zinc, B12 weren't even close to where they should have been. And this was a real eye-opener because it showed me even the meals that we think are healthy have gaps. But here's the real kicker. So I repeated this experiment with my more optimized keto day, which includes more nutrient-dense foods like eggs, leafy greens, chicken, ground beef, broccoli. Even with these improvements, there were still many holes in my nutrient profile. I was low in B1, folate, vitamin D, vitamin E, calcium, copper, iron, magnesium. And that opened my eyes to how easy it is to miss out, even if you think you're doing everything right. So now you might be thinking, okay, so then what can I do about it if my food is not enough? Well, here are some actionable steps that you can take to fill in those gaps so you can start feeling your best. The first thing I would do is visit your doctor. Request labs that could check for these deficiencies, and knowing your baseline will be crucial. Next, you want to consume nutrient-dense foods. Even though they may not provide you with 100% of the recommended daily allowance, they are going to be a great start. So focus on whole foods from fish, meats, eggs, seafood, cheese. Those are your most nutrient-packed options. Next, you want to consider a high-quality multivitamin. So this is where you're going to fill in those gaps. You want to make sure it's from a reputable source. Personally, I take most of my supplements from Adapt Naturals. I am not sponsored by them in any way, but I genuinely feel a huge difference when I take those vitamins regularly. I invest in their multivitamin, their omega supplements, and their magnesium. So fourth, you want to cut out refined sugars. Believe it or not, sugar does not just lack nutrients and is detrimental to blood sugar balance. It can actually block your body from absorbing key vitamins like magnesium, vitamin C, and potassium. It's like an anti-nutrient. So cut it all out. Finally, what you want to do is use an app like Chronometer to get a picture of what you're eating and where you might be falling short. And I love that Chronometer doesn't just track your macronutrients like your proteins, carbs, and fats, it tracks your micros too. So using an app like Chronometer will help you to see what your diet is providing you, where your holes are, so that you can tweak, make changes, add supplements where needed. You're gonna keep experimenting. Everybody is different. There is no one size fits all, but I want you to know that if you are suffering from any of the signs that I mentioned earlier, like fatigue, hair loss, thinning nails, it really is a sign that your body is telling you something is wrong. And looking at your nutrition is a great place to start. If you found this helpful, be sure to check out my other video on how to combat chronic tiredness. I'll link it here. And I also have a book and journal with actionable prompts and templates for you to use to get your metabolic health in order. I'll link that down below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and let me know in the comments, what is one change you're going to make this week to improve your nutrition? I'll see you next time.